Hi everyone, I'm Dana Shibley with Verifyle. Here are 10 tips in 10 minutes for Verifyle Pro, Gold, and Platinum users. If you're not familiar with Verifyle, then we suggest that you first watch the short video, Getting Started in Verifyle, on our YouTube channel. Tip number 1, raise your situational awareness by using timing indicators. I'm communicating now inside of the estate planning workspace thread with 3 other individuals. I can click on any of their names to see when they were last inside this workspace thread. I can see that Lisa Lawyer has not yet been inside this workspace thread. But if I click on Christine Carson's name, I can see that she was last in here Wednesday, April 20th at 9:05 a.m. Similarly, if I go to the Documents column on the right, and select a particular document, click on the gear symbol, and then click on View Access History, I can see that Lisa Lawyer and Sammy Spouse have not yet accessed the life insurance policy document, but Christine Carson has accessed it 9 times. And if I click here, I can see the exact dates and times that she accessed it, giving me a sense perhaps for the intensity of her interest in this particular document, and maybe also a sense of the recency of this information in her mind. Tip number 2, when to use private messages versus workspace threads. I'm inside the contacts area of Verifyle now, where I can see my full list of contacts and click on any one of them to instantly open up a simple, secure, one-to-one private messages communication with that individual, in this case, Christine Carson. I can securely share messages back and forth with her and files as well. Now, at some point in my communication with Christine Carson, it may become clear to me that I'm going to need some higher level communication capabilities. For example, the ability to pull multiple individuals into this communication, and perhaps the ability to have multiple threads of communication in which I have different documents and different individuals involved in each of those threads. To access such higher level communication capabilities, I'm going to want to go into the Workspaces area, where I've already created a workspace called Client Christine Carson. And if I click on it, I can see that inside of this workspace, Client Christine Carson, I already have 2 workspace threads within which I am sharing different documents and different messages across different groups of people in each of those workspace threads. Effectively, each of these workspace threads serves as a dynamic subfolder within the larger organizational structure of the workspace, Client Christine Carson. Tip number 3, protect yourself using session management. At any time, I can click on my name at the top right of my Verifyle system, go into Account Settings, scroll down to the Security Settings area, and click on Session Management. Here, I can use the handy slider to indicate to Verifyle the amount of time after which, if I have been inactive in my Verifyle system, Verifyle should automatically sign me out. This is an extremely handy feature for those of you who may sometimes forget to sign out of your Verifyle system. Tip number 4, how to optimize my home screen using sorting. Here I'm looking at my list of workspaces, and at any time I can go to the Sort tab near the top right of the screen and choose to sort by a number of different criteria, including workspace name and updated date or recency. In the Contacts tab, I can do similarly by going over to the Sort tab and sorting by last name, email address, or recency. Tip number 5, how to optimize my home screen using archiving. Let's say that among my workspaces, there is one in particular that no longer needs to be top of mind, the Abel, Barnes, and Carruthers proposal workspace. All I need to do is click on the gear symbol for that workspace, and then click on archive workspace. That workspace has now disappeared from my active colored workspace area, but I can find it down here in the archived workspaces area. And I can click on the gear symbol anytime I'd like to unarchive the workspace, which would automatically bump it back up into the active colored workspaces area. And you should also know that if anybody were to add new information to this workspace, such as a new file or a new message, it would automatically be bumped back up into the active workspaces area. Tip number 6, how to store reference information in Verifyle using a workspace thread. You already know that inside the workspace client Christine Carson, I have 2 workspace threads. Let's say that I'd like to have a place just for my reference to securely store information. Easy. All I need to do is click on the plus symbol next to Workspace Thread. There's the new Workspace Thread, which is private because no guests have access yet. And I can click on the paperclip symbol. I'll add a few documents that are now securely encrypted and stored in Verifyle just for my reference whenever I'm thinking about client Christine Carson. Tip number 7, how to store information in Verifyle by creating a new workspace. Let's say that I'd like to have a place to securely store and selectively share information about strategic planning for my organization. All I need to do is click on the plus symbol in the Workspaces tab. And there's my new workspace, Strategic Plan, which I can click on. And now it's empty, of course. But inside of this Strategic Plan workspace, as you can imagine, I can click on the plus symbol to add workspace threads, such as, for example, monthly status reports, financing, staffing, and selectively invite individuals to each of those workspace threads to access any information that I've put in there and also collaborate amongst themselves. Tip number 8, access the document signing archive to see signature records. I can click on my name and signing archive, where I can see a list of documents for which I've requested and received an electronic signature, or that I've signed myself. Now, if I click on the gear symbol and then click View Signing Info, I can see the full document signing audit report for that signature. Tip number 9. Here are 3 helpful steps for getting started in Verifyle if you haven't already done so. A, bulk upload your contacts. As you know, if you click on the plus symbol, you can individually add individuals' contact information to Verifyle, but you can also bulk import contact information to Verifyle using the CSV file format, which is the standard file format used by software companies to export and import contact information. If you do that, it will instantly populate your entire contacts list so that you can quickly and easily have that secure one-to-one communication with any of those people. Also, it will be much easier to build out your workspaces. For help seeing how to use the CSV file format to import contact information to Verifyle, please go to youtube.com and type in Verifyle contacts. B, I want to send a regular old email to all of my contacts, my clients, letting them know that from this point forward, I will be communicating with them in Verifyle in order to keep their information safe and secure. C, I want to put something inside of Verifyle for my clients, even if that's just a welcome message, because that triggers an automatic email alert invitation to each of those clients, giving them an immediate reason to go into Verifyle very seamlessly without feeling like they're going through some onerous setup process, and then be met by my warm welcome message and perhaps some other information that I put inside of Verifyle, What I don't want to do is invite people into Verifyle and put them into a situation where there's no information there waiting for them at all. That's not a good first experience. Tip number 10, do not put all of your clients in a single workspace. It quickly becomes very complicated. Rather, use a separate workspace for each client, particularly for each client with whom you have complex communications, characterized by moving a lot of information back and forth, potentially having several people involved, or having multiple threads of communication. However, feel free to use private messages for clients where you have more simple communication needs. And those are your 10 tips. Thank you.